Hello my crafty peeps, it's Cheyenne from PixieCrafter.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can shop my online store 24/7, the link is in the description bar below, or you can head on over to PixieCrafter.com where it's kind of like my hub. Anything that you need to know in the Pixie Crafter world, you can find there. Alright, today we are taking a break from Scrapbook Saturday. I'm running out of inspiration. I need to get my mojo back going. So, taking a break, I'm going to do something that I've been wanting to do more of, and that's more like 3D things, like things that aren't cards and scrapbooks. So what we're going to be having fun with today is shrink plastic, or shrinky dinks. So I have gone ahead and made this. Now I use this with a retired punch and oh goodness, I can't remember the stamp set, but it's something I can get as a demonstrator. So it says, hello, my name is Cheyenne, and I'm addicted to scrapping. Now this is something I just planned to add to like my key ring. It didn't need to be anything special. I just kind of wanted it there. And you can see it like you're going to have to seal these with something. So I used some spray varnish and it's still not completely dry. So let's get to making these fun things. Now you can use any stamp, die, punch you have. I do recommend it's something that has a stamp with a coordinating punch or die. It's just going to make life so much easier. And you're going to want to make sure that the punch or die is a full solid image. I'm using the Cool Treats and the Frozen Treats dies. Cool Treats stamp set and the Frozen Treat die set. Framelets, thinlets, I believe they're framelets. And you see here like the ice cream cones and everything, they're so cute, so adorable, but they're two separate pieces. So I want a full solid image. So that's what I picked out. I picked out the popsicles from this. But yeah, whatever you have, let your imagination go with you. So I've got this popsicle with the lines that go over it to make it look more, I'm going to go with like maybe more of a creamsicle type feel, and then the little sticks that go with it. So these would be the popsicle sticks. And then I've got this one here that I'm going to be, oh no, sorry, it's the one with the bite taken out. Oh, I also need to get the two little lines. That's going to make it look more like a popsicle, like one of the big ones that you might like pop apart and you give one and you share it. You know, instead of a fudgesicle, I kind of feel like, you know, the whole, like this, it's more of a fudgesicle. So it'd be like that and it would look more like, hey, it's a cherry popsicle. Anyway, alright. So, let's see, what else do we need? We're going to, of course, need our shrink plastic. Now, this is actually meant for inkjet printers. And I thought, well, I'm using ink on it, so maybe it'll work. I guess we'll see. I can't imagine it making that much of a difference. Now, your shrink plastic, it's going to have a smooth side and a rough side. You want to stamp on the rough side. Otherwise, the slick side, it's just going to just disappear and go right off. It'll be bye-bye. Now, because I'm using a solid white, my colors are going to pop more, but it's not going to be transparent. These are going to be one-sided. If you get the clear shrink plastic, then you'll be able to see right through. So that's also something you have to consider too. You're going to be able to see through it. So you need to be aware of what the back's going to look like as well. So I've got that. And I just got this from my local craft store. I've also chosen Pool Party and Peekaboo Peach for my colors. Oh, I also need crumb cake, so let me grab that. There we go, crumb cake. This is very important to have, you know, popsicle sticks, right? Alright, and I've got one of the bigger acrylic blocks. This is going to come in handy after you shrink your plastic down, because it tends to kind of like curl up, and I like to just set this over, and it'll help to flatten out everything. You're going to need a hole punch of some sort. I'm just using my, what is this, my crocodile? This little fun tool. I have it, I'm using it. It was pre-Stampin' Up, I swear. I've got my Stampin' Up heat tool. You can choose to put your shrinky dinks in like a toaster oven or something like that. I find a heat tool works just as well. If you're using your heat tool like I am, you're going to want some tweezers as well. You're also going to need your Big Shot. That's going to be an important part of this because you're going to need it for the dies. So let's get started with our stamping. Alright, let's see. What am I going to do first? I can't have all of these on here at once. It's just not going to work. Alright, we'll do our orange-sickle, popsicle. Alright, now this I'm going to want to do some double stamping on. So I need just a piece of scrap paper. Here we go. Just something handy. Nothing too fancy. So, alright, this is going to be a two-step image. So I'm inking up that solid bit with my Peekaboo Peach. I'm going to stamp it off. And then I'm just going to have a lighter edge, or lighter tint to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop that over there. Oh, I forgot to, my Shrinky Dink plastic came, ooh, there we go. It is 8.5 by 11. It's not going to fit through the Big Shot, so I'm going to have to make adjustments to that. Alright, and I'm noticing that that's not completely solid. But because this is Shrinky Dink plastic, there are things that we can do. For example, I can take my Peekaboo Peach marker. No, I can't do that because I stamped off. So let's see. How are we going to do that? Actually, I can go ahead and stamp over it again. Nothing too crazy. Still going to be a lighter image. And I'm just going to focus right there. If you're having issues with your ink not stamping full on some of these solid stamps, you might need like a squishier surface behind you, like our silicone mats. Those are quite lovely for that. Or a piece of fun foam. That'll work too. Alright, now I've got the little stripe piece, and I'm just going to go in right over top of it. And there we go. So I've got that. Now I am noticing that there is a little slip and slide to it, which, okay, you know, so there's a learning curve to stamping on shrink plastic. Lost my train of thought there. And I'm noticing I've got a couple of fingerprints, so let's see if they'll just wipe off. Not so much, not so much. So keep that in mind too. You still have to watch the inky on your fingies. Okay, let's get this guy going now with our pool party. And this is going to be the same way. So I'm inking it up, that solid image. I'm going to stamp off. There we go. And now I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to leave a little bit of room. And now I'm just going to try to make sure that that is going to be all good. Now with these, because the die cuts inside the stamped image, I'm not worrying about rocking too much. Ugh, come on, come on. Alright, so that's fine. So, and like these little bits on the outside, I'm not worried about that too, because the stamp, or the die is going to, it's not going to cut that out, so it'll be fine. Everything will be good. Okay. And here we've got our two little dash lines. And we're just going to pop those right in the center, and this is Pool Party Full Strength. And there we go. I'm kind of liking, like it's kind of given like a, I don't know how well you can tell, but like there's some texture to it, almost as if it's like ice that's not quite frozen evenly. So I think that kind of works in this case. Alright, so we're done with that. Now it's time for our crumb cake popsicle sticks. There we go. Alright, now we're just going to stamp those down. Again, it's not going to be a perfect thin but because it cuts within the stamped image, you don't have to be completely perfect with your stamp. Keep in mind too that when you shrink these, your colors are going to get a lot more concentrated because you're shrinking it down in size. So keep that in mind with your color choices. Don't go in there with it like cherry cobbler or something like that, because it might end up going a little dark on you. Alright, so we got that. Now I've got to cut this down and bring over my Big Shot. Alright, so I've got my Big Shot, my magnetic platform, cutting plate, and now I'm going to put my pieces here and get my framelits all lined up and looking cute. Alright, there we go. Add your top cutting plate. You don't have to have the magnetic platform. You can use the platform that comes with your Big Shot. I just like the magnetic platform just to make sure that things aren't going to wiggle and move around. Alright, let's get those back on the magnetic sheet so I don't end up losing those somewhere in amongst all of my stuff. Okay, so there we go. We've got our two little popsicles. I'm being careful because it is plastic that we are stamping on, so there is still smudging possibilities. Keep that in mind when you're working with this stuff. You want to be a little delicate. Okay, now it's time for a little bit of the fun part. Alright, now we're going to want to add our hole punch. Remember, if you are going to like make a charm bracelet out of these or earrings or something like that, punch your holes first, because once they're shrunk, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. So, and keep in mind too that the size punch you choose, that's going to shrink up too. So be aware of that. I don't mind if you're going to do just a standard jump ring. The smaller hole on this pair of crocodile will work. Just sometimes it takes some experimentation. Alright, I think I'm going to want this to kind of be just right over here. I don't want mine to hang like really straight or anything. I want them to kind of be like crazy. I'm pretty sure I'm going to add these to like a charm bracelet or something. I'm not 100% sure yet. That's kind of the fun about this. This is just something that I wanted to make. Alright, there we go. Also keep in mind that you want to do it a little bit further in than you think you should, because this little edge, in between the outside and the edge, that's going to shrink up too. Things to keep in mind. Alright, now it's time for the shrinky dink fun. You want to protect your surface from heat. So, my surface here, this is a piece of foam core with some contact paper over it, and now I've got my big old pad of Stampin' Up! Grid paper here. I've got silicone mat, which is heat resistant, and a few prayers. That's in there too. I'm going to bring you in tighter because I want you to see the whole process of how the shrinky dinks will kind of shrink up and kind of curl up, and it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do these one at a time. Now I got my tweezers and I'm just going to put them right there in the center. I'm not going to lift these up, so these are pushed down. You want something that's not going to get stuck in the hole as it closes up, so keep that in mind, but you want it to have enough handle where you're not going to burn yourself. So my heat tool on, and I'm going to start heating it. I'm going to move it around, and you're going to see the wonderful magic of Shrinky Dink. Alright, so there we go. We've got the little guy shrunk, and I got the matte or the acrylic block over top of it as it cools down to make sure it's going to dry nice and flat. I'm going to move that over to the side now. I'm going to bring in my other guy. Wasn't that fun? But you see how it starts to curl up. Keep heating it. If you stop it and it starts to cool, it can start to stick to each other. So just keep going. You might think that it's ruined and oh my God, keep going. I promise you it'll be okay. Just don't stop until it flattens out. So there we go. There's that one done. So now I can show you this one. Maybe, possibly, if it focuses. Oh, isn't just a cute little popsicle? It's so much fun. But you see how those colors got a lot deeper and darker? So keep that in mind as you're doing it. You see the back side, it's just white. It's okay. You are going to want to seal your stamped side with, you can use nail polish, you can use, I just use a spray vinyl and I'm cool with that. Alright, here's this little guy. Now if this was something that you were going to do and maybe, I don't know, add it to your cards, add it to your scrapbook, you don't have to have the hole punched into it. You can just have it just like this and then just, let's see, I don't think I have any cards hanging around where I could do something fun with. Oh, here we go. Let me grab one of the ones from one of the Facebook Fridays that I was doing that could go along with it. Alright, so here we've got standard card. And just go ahead, add those to it. It would just be fun and cute. So lots of fun can be had with these. Oh, look at that. They look so tiny now. So tiny. But yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed doing that. I think it would be a lot of fun to do with your kids, maybe not the little ones. And I would probably suggest if you're going to do it with your kids, maybe do it in the toaster oven or your oven. It only takes 3 to 5 minutes in your oven, and then they can sit there with the oven light on and just watch the magic happen. And it would be so cute. And then you don't have the risk of the heat tool and them getting burned and stuff that way, because it is hot, and these get very hot with the heat tool. So be safe, be cautious, be careful. But this would be fun. You've got some, like, I don't know, preteens, like middle school age kids, you know, where they're in that stage where they still like to do this fun stuff, and it's not like so cool, you know, they're not too cool for school sort of deal. And yeah, that would be kind of fun. They could make stuff, earrings if you wanted to. You know, maybe do 2 of the same for earrings, but hey, you do you, boo. But yeah, alright, so that is it for today's tutorial. So much fun, something different than what we've been doing. And let me see if I can actually bring you in even tighter. Look, now with the grid you can kind of see them to scale. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, I'm so happy with this. Alright, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please go ahead and like and subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I love seeing you guys come back, like up my videos, comment, whatever. It's great. It's fantastic. Trying to build a community here so that we can all support each other and in our creative endeavors and have fun. Alright, a full list of the products I use, well, maybe not a full list, you know, the non-SU stuff, Stampin' Up stuff probably won't be listed, so keep that in mind. Full list of the Stampin' Up products I used will be in the description bar below, along with links to my online store and website. While you're on my website, you can sign up for my monthly newsletter. And you have the option, if you are a U.S. resident, of joining my birthday club. In your birthday month, I will send you a handmade birthday card from me as a show of appreciation from me. Did you all notice, too, when you're on my pixiecrafter.com site, that I have some of my cards for sale? So if you like the cards that I make on my YouTube channel, you can have an opportunity to buy some of them. Not all of them are listed, but there are quite a few that are. Just hit the card shop link and that will take you to my Etsy store. You can browse through and see what's what. Let's see what else. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, but I don't really do too much with Twitter. I'm there, but if you're on Twitter, you can find me. If not, it's okay. Facebook and Instagram, they're fine. They're fine. It'll be okay. So, alright, that's it. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye!